Okay, meet Thomas Young from Memorial University of Newfoundland. Hi,
Hello.
hi Thomas.
Hello, everyone. Hi.
Okay, Thomas, do tell us something about the location of Memorial University, all about
Yeah,
the climate, the multiculturalism, safety, and all of that.
sure thing. So, Canada is one of the safest countries in the world, and we are located in Newfoundland, Canada, which is kind of like Canada's Canada. Newfoundland, if Canada is one of the safest countries, then Newfoundland is probably one of the safest parts of Canada. We have a relatively low population, only about 500,000 across the island. Our two campuses are located in St. John's and Corner Brook, which are on the east and west coasts of the province, respectively. It is an island province, so it is a little bit detached from the mainland of the country, but you can get a flight to the province relatively easily. Climate-wise, it is actually relatively warmer in Newfoundland than most of the rest of Canada, whereas in places like Toronto or Vancouver, you may get lows of -40 in the winter. With us, it only goes as low as -20 with a daily average of -10 to 0. I realize that for a lot of international students, that is still quite cold, but it is much more moderate relative to some of the other places in the country. In terms of multiculturalism, like Canada is a very welcoming, very accepting place, very open to international students, and in particular in Newfoundland, we have about 10% of our post-secondary student population is made of international and multicultural students. So it's a great opportunity to come and have this kind of welcoming, safe environment that relatively speaking, the temperature isn't too bad. And even if you don't particularly like the temperature, we have lots of support systems in place to help you with winter clothing.
Okay, tell us about the tuition fees at Memorial.
Sure thing. So our tuition is actually the lowest in Canada right now among post-secondary institutions at 11,460 Canadian dollars. A lot of people see that number and they're going to go, okay, why is the tuition that, why does it cost that? A big part of that reason is because our education is subsidized by the government. The government of Newfoundland decided, about 20 years ago that, we really want to attract new life and particularly young people. So what they've done is over the last 20 years, they've subsidized the education very, very, very heavily. So you may be paying 11,460. But a large percentage, if it wasn't for that government subsidy, you would be paying probably significantly more. So factoring in your other things like your meals, your housing, your day-to-day living, health insurance, book supplies, everything, plus the tuition, this number is inclusive of the 11,460, most students can spend between 19 and 23,000 a year. So it's quite affordable relative to most other places in Canada.
Yeah. Tell us about what programs are available right now.
Mm-hmm. So we do offer pretty much most of the major four-year programs for undergraduate studies. Pretty much anything you can think of in the arts and sciences, we will find. Of particular note, I would bring attention to the computer science program at our St. John's campus, which has been quite popular with students particularly from India and Bangladesh. We have a Bachelor of Engineering program, which is a 5-year program with a mandatory co-op. So again, an amazing opportunity that most students find meaningful employment with pretty much right out of graduation. And then we have a Bachelor of Business Administration program, which you can do at either campus, St. John's or Grenfell. One of the advantages of doing business admin, particularly at Grenfell, is that the Grenfell campus doesn't have a math requirement for entry. So when you apply to it, if you do have math in high school, great, you can choose either one. If you don't have math, you can come to Grenfell and either do your full 4 years there, or you can do 1 year with Grenfell and then switch to St. John's if you prefer the larger campus, right? We also have a Bachelor of Nursing, amazing opportunity there, Bachelor of Human Kinetics and Recreation. As well, we have a med school, which is technically an undergraduate program. However, you are required to have an undergraduate degree before you enter, much like any other med school in Canada.
Okay. Tell us about the campus environment at Memorial.
Yeah, so on average, depending on which campus you go to, you're going to have a little bit of a different experience. So the St. John's campus, like I said, as the name implies, it is located in St. John's, so it's in our capital city. The city itself has about 100,000 people. The campus has about 15,000 students on it, both international and domestic included in that number. So the thing about the St. John's campus is that all the buildings are connected by a series of underground tunnels that we call the munnels. And now when I say the word tunnels, people kind of this kind of image of like, you know, moles bearing. It's nothing like that. They're all well lit, well decorated. There's lockers. There's you know, entrances and exits and maps and things of that sort. Very easy to navigate. Very easy to find your way around campus. You could leave your dorm room and basically never have to go outside if you live on the St. John's campus. Anything that you might need is going to be on campus. And if it's not found on campus itself, you can probably find it within a 5 to 10 minute walk. You've got a mall about 5-10 minutes that way, hospitals 5-10 minutes that way. Furthest away you may need to go is downtown, and that's a 2-minute bus ride that way. So it's, you know, very, very accessible, very easy to get around. It is a bit more urban because it is located, like I said, in the city of St. John's. That said, if you prefer a more rural sort of situation, the Corner Brook campus at Grenfell, or sorry, the Grenfell campus in Corner Brook is, you know, maybe a bit more your speed. We only have about 1,400 students in a city of 20,000 people. That's actually where I'm located right now, is Corner Brook. The advantage of coming to the Grenfell campus is that where in St. John's you may have larger classes for your first year of maybe 100 or 200 people, Grenfell, our average class size is between 12 and 15 students. So for your first year courses, of course, you know, you are looking at bigger classes of maybe 30. First year business and psych might be 60 to 70 students, even up to 90 in some rare cases. But average class size is between 12 and 15. I'm personally a Grenfell graduate myself. My smallest class only had 4 people, so it's a very, very personal sort of experience. Your professors are on a first name basis with you. I still get contacts from my professors, you know, saying, "Hey, come to this event for our program." So it's a very personal, very sort of familial sort of experience. But the big draw of working with student housing, aside from you know, all the lovely benefits of the job itself, is that you do get a free apartment for the semester. So for a lot of international students, that is a major cost saver. And even though international students only make up about 10% of our student population, over the last 3 years, they've made up about 30% of our student housing staff. So it's you know, we try to kind of lean towards international students because they have a stronger sense of what it means to be away from home, and we feel that they make, you know, they tend to make really good leaders for students in housing.
Tell us something about the Canam and Memorial University relationship, please.
Absolutely. So Canam and MUN have had a partnership for about 12 years, more give or take, you know, a year or two. They send a huge number of students to us, and of course, we greatly appreciate their support. But a lot of our students are really satisfied with the work done by Canam. They advise on applications, they advise on immigration. It's just a matter of scheduling an appointment with Canam, and they'll kind of help walk you through the process from A to Z to get you from where you are in your hometown to hopefully studying in the classroom with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Thomas. I'm sure they enjoyed listening to you.